This live stream is a copyright of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network. Reproduction or distribution of this live stream without permission of the Tiger Sports Livestream Network is a violation of the law.
It's more than just a game, it's a tradition, a community. Every Friday night tradition deserves a homemade favorite, Polly-I's Pizza. Stop in on 5th Ave in downtown Grinnell or order online at pollyi'sgrinnellia.com. Go Tigers!
With rising premium costs, you might be tempted to pull back on how much insurance you carry. But it's still important to have robust coverage from a company you can rely on in case disaster strikes. We believe in neighbors helping neighbors. We've been a trusted source for quality insurance since 1909. We offer both personal and business insurance products, and we can help protect what you value most. You can trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual. For more information, visit grinnellmutual.com.
At Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, we know that the Tigers have a game plan every time they take the field or court. And at Ramsey Weeks, we have a plan for you too. Check out our website at ramseyweeks.com to get started. You can find all your insurance needs from residential to commercial, and if it is real estate you are looking for, you are one click away in the top menu. Here you can browse our residential and commercial listings. Don't forget, let Ramsey Weeks create a game plan for your new insurance or real estate purchase. Go Tigers! Now is the perfect time to start your new shop house or post-frame building construction project. Lumber prices are dropping to historic lows, and Proline Building Company is excited to pass those savings directly to our customers. We are offering special discounts on all new projects. Our construction calendar has immediate openings so you can take advantage of today's low material cost without delay. Ready to get started? Visit us at www.iowadreambuilder.com and let's get started today.
Weldon Drywall is your local drywall professional, serving a 70-mile perimeter around Iowa City. They provide services to commercial builders, general contractors, and residential homeowners. Projects can include commercial build-outs, new construction for multi-family and residential homes, to remodeling projects such as your new addition to basement drywall projects, even down to the simplest 2x2 patch in your wall. Weldon Drywall is here for you. Check out our website at weldon-drywall.com and fill out our contact form for your free estimate today.
Hey Tiger fans, I'm Pastor Phil inviting you to Tri Church at Prairie Lakes, where you'll hear that God loves you no matter what. Parents, your kids are going to love learning about God in our safe and fun children's environments, so no matter where you're at with what you believe, you can look for God at Prairie Lakes Church. Go Tigers, and I hope to see you soon.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We're your trusted partner in everything signage and graphics.
Mayflower Community is currently hiring nursing staff. If you are passionate about healthcare and the well-being of older adults, Mayflower Community wants you. Employees enjoy a daily meal, coffee cappuccino and lotus drinks, fitness center, and a family-oriented work culture that is flexible with your needs. You will find competitive pay and benefits. Mayflower Community, a place to call home and a great place to work. For more information, visit our website at mayflowerhomes.com or call 641-236-6151.
Tired of bad internet and bad service? Switch to MCG and experience the benefits of better internet. We employ a local team that answers the phone when you call. We provide same-day support and symmetrical upload and download. We offer benefits like free install, free router, and no introductory pricing. We offer internet that works when you need it. No data caps, no fine print, and absolutely no hidden fees. Sign up with MCG today and experience the benefits of better internet service.
The Dairy Barn, located at 1810 6th Avenue in Grinnell, stop by before or after the big ball game to pick up your favorite ice cream or flavor of the day yogurt. They also have a full line of delicious foods, including tenderloins, pulled pork sandwiches, popular chicken wraps, and much, much more. Don't have time to stop at the barn? Catch them on the move at some of the favorite events around Grinnell, or give us a call and try out our catering. And don't forget to check out www.dairybarngrinnell.com to order online or the Chow Now app. Remember, I scream, you scream, we all scream for Dairy Barn.
Grinnell Booster Club supports all Tiger athletics from the middle school all the way up to the high school through fundraising, membership drives, concession stand revenues at all the home events. There are many different ways you can get involved. One, through membership levels from a single, a family, even into the business. There are many attractive levels that you can be a part of this wonderful club. Your membership funds help support uniforms, warm-ups, summer speed camps, baseball and softball batting cages, and the list goes on. You want to be a part of a great group? Join the Grinnell Booster Club today.
Hey Tiger fans, Colton here at Wagon Wheels West in Grinnell, and today's game day boot is this men's Twisted X boot. This boot is going to be super comfortable with that self-stretch technology while also being greatly durable if you have to go and work in the yard or you're out on the job all day. This is going to be the boot for you. But don't get it twisted. This boot is going to look wonderful under a nice pair of blue jeans if you got to go out on the town. And stop in, try it, and good luck, Tigers.
Good evening and welcome to the Grinnell Natatorium. My name is Dan Walker and I have with me Tim Hammond, and we are live on the Tiger Sports live stream network for Grinnell Swimming. And tonight we have joining us Williamsburg, Boone, and I believe
Vinton-Shellsburg.
So that will be the lineup of teams tonight as we go. Same format as normal, and I'll let Tim get into a little bit of that as we get started. I know the announcers are trying to get the pool clear. They did that, but they were having trouble with their PA system again. For those who joined us on the Southeast Polk, it was a very similar situation. So if they do get their PA system working on all announcements, we will defer and we'll have a mic that's set up to bring all their stuff in. If not, Tim will have a busy night reading and keeping up with what's going on. But we do have a full docket for those that have joined us for the first time as visitors. We try to make it as simple as possible. Up there in their top left-hand corner, we have the current scoring system that's going on. And yes, I do know that the diving board is being blocked. When we switch to diving, we shut this screen off and we have a separate screen for just the diving. We have lanes 1 through 9 identified. Typically on a normal night, lane 10 is not used, but Tim says lane 10 will be used due to all the teams that are here. So lane 10 will be just at the bottom of your screen underneath lane 9, and those will be the people swimming in that one. When we do the starts, you'll actually see a screen like this. So this will be the starting blocks. Once it switches over, you'll go to the live screen, and we don't have a wide angle lens, so we cannot see lanes 10 and 9 when they hit the board on the opposite side or your left-hand side of the pool, but we'll keep you up to date as you go. And again, the lanes will correspond with the top left-hand scoring drive, and it will give lap times at the down and back.
Nope, when they get to the blocks each time, they'll get a split.
And that's what will be recorded up there on the top scoreboard, and we'll just kind of keep you in play as they go of which lanes are doing well and what teams are in what spot. But as we said, they should identify those as we get going. So as we're waiting here for our opening ceremonies and the national anthem, we'll just kind of let you watch the beautiful pool, and we'll be back.
the Grinnell BGM Baxter Swim Meet. Please join me in welcoming the following team. Boone High School, coached by Chris Mann. Williamsburg High School, coached by Mindy Webeker. Vinton Shellsburg, coached by Whitney Bowen. And your home team, the Grinnell BGM Baxter Tigers Bears Bolt, coached by Sarah Smith, Deidre Freeman Huff, and Jordan Huff. Captains, our seniors, Lillian Ford, Isabel Hinkle, Claire Manat, Bailey Moore, Nora Nickel, Piper Rundall, Cameron Russell, and Zoe Tauber. Your official for this evening is Scott Torres. Please stand as you are able and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem. Event 1, please report to the block.
All right, Tim. A packed night.
It is. It's going to be a packed night. We got 4 teams. Some of them are combined teams, kind of like Grinnell, Vinton Shellsburg, a long time, I don't know, they call them conglomerates or something like that, where schools come together to not only compete, but I think Vinton Shellsburg is actually one school even now.
Yes, yep, they are.
So we are going to start with the 200 medley relay, and what you're going to see different tonight relative to the other meets that we have webcast is because there are 4 teams, this is operating essentially as an invitational. Maybe they do consider it an invitational. And so what's going to happen is in every heat, they're going to be circle seated. What that means is we're going to see the fastest seed time in lane 5, and then the next fastest in 6, then 4, then 7, then 3, then 8, then 2, then 9, 1, and then 10.
So relay, heat 1 of 2, Mr. Starter.
So throughout the meet, different teams are going to be in different lanes, and that's different from what we've seen with the duels and double duels that we've cast already. So in this first heat, we're going to see Vinton Shellsburg's B, and then Williamsburg's C and D relays. And then in the heat 2, every lane will be filled with a relay from the A's all the way to Boone's D. So again, 200 medley relay is backstroke as you're going to see them enter the water. Then they'll come back after a 50, and the breaststroker will dive in, then fly, then free. So as we can see with the folks in the B, C, and D relays here in the first heat, just less experienced, not confident about using the backstroke wedge. And that's a great choice. There's still plenty of athletes that don't use the backstroke wedge, but it can give them a real advantage if they do use it.
In lane 6, Williamsburg D. Arnold, Hempy, Conrad, Hall.
Like Dan was sharing earlier, a little bit of difficulty for the announcer. So if you're hearing that cutting in and out, that's coming from the PA system. What I expect to see tonight is a strong showing from Grinnell again. There will be some races where the other teams give Grinnell a run for first place and even just competitively throughout a race. But like our last meet, Grinnell's depth in the relays and across the events is going to really make them shine strong. The other teams do have some pretty big squads, but based on the information that I could find coming into the meet, Grinnell's large squad and depth is probably just going to win out. Here go our flyers. So as people are maybe learning to do fly, one thing they really have to watch out for is making sure that both hands recover over the water. If one hand or both hands don't recover over the water, that's an illegal stroke. Essentially, it's like they're swimming breaststroke. It looks like maybe lane 4 might have lost her goggles, or maybe she went in without them. I wasn't paying attention. But that's usually, well, maybe she still has her goggles on. But anyway, that's usually a result of not tucking your head enough when you go in on your dive. Get that head down low, squeeze those arms against your ears or even behind your head to get a real tight streamline. Other thing that we have to always look for in butterfly and breaststroke is that the hands and feet are moving at the same time. You can't have flutter kick, and we can't have one hand going ahead of the other during any portion of the stroke. And to finish with two-hand touch. Here we go with the last 50 freestyle. In this next heat, like I said, we're going to have lanes 1 through 10 according to the heat sheet full. And Grinnell's relay as a team is currently ranked 27th in the state. Boone is right around 30th, I'm pretty sure. And Williamsburg is 45th. So that's, like I was saying, assuming that nothing drastic changes, these relay points are really going to send Grinnell forward in this meet. But it's notable that that 27th ranking in the state for Grinnell is not made up of the swimmers that are swimming tonight. There's a couple of them that are on that team, but a couple others that aren't. And so I imagine Coach Smith is, trying people out in different relays, seeing how they can fare. Got to figure out what your best combos are. So you can see many of the girls in this race are pulling those backstroke wedges down so that they can get a good push off, less likely their feet are going to slip. Getting themselves all positioned. We got a great leading start, a great underwater from Boone, which doesn't surprise me. Grinnell is in second and third right now at the wall, but Boone is leading, and they are in a close race for second. They have two relays racing for second right now. So here we come in with breaststroke.
Hobbit and Houston. In lane 7 from Grinnell, Manat, Simpson Camp, Rundall, and Manat. In lane 8 from Williamsburg, Riviero, Sherlock, Kirko.
And we're catching them with every stroke.
Carolyn, Smith, Engelson, Hunt, and in lane 10 from Boone, Owen.
Grinnell has moved the wedge off the starting block. Good two-step forward with toes over the front. That was a good, strong breaststroke leg. Grinnell was 3 seconds, over 3 seconds faster on the breaststroke leg than Boone. You can see us catching up there. With each stroke of fly, I'm pretty sure we're catching up as well. But it's going to be close on these splits for the fly leg. Boone comes in at 29.64 and Grinnell at 30.3. Very close. That's a lot to make up in 150. Boone is very likely to set their season best time in this relay here. It's going to be close, but I guess they won't do it. About a second off, actually. But Grinnell comes in second and third. And again, like I've said before, when you have that depth, even if Boone comes in first, if another team comes in second and third, those points can add up. But it is notable that Boone was not just first, but they were, Grinnell was also fourth according to the scoreboard. Second, third, and fourth. So Boone was fifth and sixth with that first place. I try to do the math quick in my head, but scores are probably pretty close between Grinnell and Boone. Now we're going into the 200 freestyle. It'll be one heat, all 10 lanes filled according to the heat sheet. And it looks like it again is going to be a race between Grinnell and Boone. But according to my heat sheet, Peyton Zylstra was just in the 200-yard medley relay. But if that's her standing in lane 6, she doesn't look like she's breathing very hard. So I wonder if there's a mix-up in who swam the leadoff leg of Grinnell's A relay. So the officials asked them to stand back up, and that's because they didn't all come down together, and lane 7 just ran up on the block as well. So you might have noticed something interesting at the start there.
In lane 2 from Williamsburg.
I'll finish when the announcer's done.
In lane 3 from Williamsburg, Shiloh Smith. In lane 4 from Boone, Lucy Abbott. In lane 5 from Boone, Claire Abbott. In lane 6 from Grinnell, Peyton Zylstra. In lane 7 from Vinton Schellsburg, Martavia Hunt. In lane 8 from Boone, Tessa Goot. In lane 9 from Grinnell, Peyton Matt. And in lane 10 from Grinnell, Zoe Pollard.
So about that start, you might have noticed that Grinnell's athletes essentially all stood up tall while all the others were bent over getting ready for the start. And that is, from what I recall, that has been a pretty common Grinnell tactic for decades. Coaches at Grinnell have highlighted that they want you to breathe, they want you to breathe deep, they want you to show confidence standing up there on the block. Be different. Like I said, it's going to be a race between Grinnell and Boone, and right now Boone is leading, and we are just over halfway through the 200. Peyton Zylstra is giving it her all, but Boone has just taken first and second right now. And it's not surprising that this is where the race is at. All three of these swimmers are right within a second of each other in their seed times. You really want to look, for many of these swimmers, the 200 is a pretty long event, especially for some of them that aren't leading in this race. And so when we're looking at these folks, you really want to be looking for rotation. Make sure you're getting your arms out of the water during your recovery. Plus, that rotation is going to allow you to use your core to propel yourself through the water. So the two Anabnits have taken first and second. And Peyton Zylstra is in third. Schellsberg fourth. Williamsburg fifth. And looks like some best times, season best for the Anabnits. And Peyton's just off a few seconds, about a second per 50. But I know that Grinnell's training hard right now, and like you've heard me say in other meets,
Mr. Starter.
it's all right. You don't need to be going best times right now. You should be tired. 200 IM. Fly back breast free. Look at those Grinnell swimmers standing up tall.
In lane 1 from Schellsberg, Caitlin Schmidt. In
So
lane 2 from Williamsburg, Liana Malin. In lane 3 from Boone, Ashlyn Burkhardt. In lane 4 from Boone, Mackenzie Platt. In lane 5 from Boone, Avery Howard. In lane 6 from Williamsburg, Sayla Smith. In lane 7 from Grinnell, Anna Lindbergh. In lane 8 from Grinnell, Zoe Brundall. And in lane 9 from Williamsburg, Claire Turco.
So again, coming off the start, anytime you're in your streamline, you want to get that head tucked. Hold that streamline tight until you're ready to start your breakout underwater. And again, when we're seeing everybody come off the walls here, you really want to push those underwaters. Start this event out with fly, and it's real tiring. But the less you have to stroke your way across the pool because of your streamline and your underwater kicking, the less tiring it's going to be. But you got to train that in order to be able to do it through the meet. Dan, I think there's a possibility I might end up eating my hat today. At the beginning of the meet, I predicted that Grinnell would be pretty strong in the meet, and I still think that that will be the case. However, these first couple of events, Boone has really come out strong. Grinnell had a strong breaststroke there. Serious race here between Boone and Williamsburg. Again, that circle seating doesn't always work out the way it's supposed to. Lane 5 is seated as the fastest, but I'm sure her teammate is pretty excited about going 230. Comes Grinnell in 4th place at 2:43, so that's a time drop, and that's, again, we don't need to be doing anything incredible. I mean, if you do during this time of the season, great, but you don't need to be. If you're right on your times or improving a little or even a little off because of how hard you're training, that seems reasonable. Grinnell's Rundall dropped half a second, I suppose. nearly. And now we're starting the sprint events. 50 freestyle, 4 heats of this. So the first heat is the slowest heat of all. The last heat is the fastest heat, and again, circle seating throughout all those. So we're going to want to see them come off tight streamlines, far out in the air, dive into the water, tight streamlines underwater. Kicking hard. Lane 5 was pretty moving quite a bit there. That's a lot of swimmers for the official to watch all at once. So to catch somebody moving a little bit on the blocks as one official for a 10-lane pool where every lane is 9 feet wide, that can be pretty tough. No Grinnell swimmers in this heat, if you didn't catch that from the announcer. Wittgen-Schellsburg wins that heat. About a second off her best. In the next heat, we got Wolken from Grinnell in 3, Leisure in 7.
Event 4, Varsity Girls 50-yard freestyle, heat 2 of 4, Mr. Starter.
So the majority of these girls are marked exhibition on the heat sheet, which means that they can't score points in this event. Assuming that their rules, we got Boone coming up in lane 4 yet. Officials asked him to relax for a second while the Boone swimmer gets up there.
In lane 1, Bruck. Lane 2, Eggleston. Lane 3, Wolken.
So when they hit the surface of the water after their start and off of every breakout off the wall, they want to hit that finish in the surface of the water in freestyle with their one hand fully extended and the other one just finishing their first stroke so it can start recovering right away. We don't want to be underwater and one of our strokes is finished. Comes Williamsburg in lane 6 with a 33.0. And that is a big drop for her, a whole second in a 50. That's significant.
Event 4, Girls Varsity 50-yard freestyle, heat 3 of 4, Mr. Starter.
There's only 2 non-exhibition swimmers in this heat, in lanes 4 and 5, Wittgen-Schellsburg and Williamsburg. The rest of them are exhibition. Looks like we're missing a swimmer in lane 7. And 10. Got Grinnell in 6.
Lane 2, Rindiero.
More.
Lane 3, Ritnow. Lane 4, Miller. Lane 5, O'Connell, Gabriel. Lane 6, Moore. Lane 8, Witt. And lane 9, Wilkinson.
So as long as you do those other things I've been talking about in the 50, once you hit the surface, it's all about fast hands. We think about those small parts of our appendages so that our mind can understand them to move really fast. Same thing with our feet, fast feet. Moore has gone about half second off her season best, it looks like. All right, now we are into the 4th heat. Everybody's swimming for points here. And it looks like we might be
Event 4,
missing
Girls
at least
Varsity
one
50-yard
swimmer
freestyle, heat 4 of
this
4,
heat.
Mr. Starter.
We have Isabel Kinkle in here, who is currently ranked 43rd in the state with a 26.00, I'm pretty sure. We expect her to handily win this
Lane
race.
1, Switzer. Lane
Long
2,
breakout.
Lane 3,
Hit that surface and start
4,
spinning.
2, Lane 5,
Already a body length ahead before she even hits the first wall.
7, Houston. Lane 8, Citra. Lane 9, Carolyn. Lane 10, Griffiths.
So this is exciting, Nick, and we can look at Kinkle and think, wow, she's dominant. But keep in mind, 43rd in the state. There's a lot of people ahead of her at this point. She's strong. I think she will taper very well. And so we can look forward to her dropping time and seeing where she ends up at state.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a break from swimming and turn our attention to the diving pool, where the girls' 1 meter varsity diving will start in a few moments.
We have, as usual, a loaded diving event. Anytime you're watching Grinnell High School swimming and diving for the girls, you are going to see a loaded diving event. We have the state's #1 ranked diver, the #6 ranked diver, Nora Nickel. Let's see here. Aubrey Holder, the #15 ranked diver, and she's even been out due to some injuries, I'm pretty sure. Then Boone comes in at 24 with Amaya. And then we have Boone again, Haley Olson at 37. And then Cora Kellogg of Grinnell at 48. There are also some other Grinnell and Boone divers that I don't have state rankings for. But you're going to see some of the best diving in the state tonight. I did just learn tonight, which I don't know why I didn't think of it before, that Aubrey Holder is the niece of a great Grinnell, still, I think, school record holder in multiple events on the boys' side, Grinnell High School. Also coming to us from Brooklyn, Houston Holder, who went on for a successful collegiate swimming career and now is coaching, I hear, as the assistant at UMass. And with Aubrey still relatively early in her career and already ranked 15th in the state, I think we could see some impressive stuff from her as she continues to develop. And as our judges are getting ready, it looks like we may have a judge standing in. I see Will Freeman back there, maybe getting prepared to judge along with Coach Deidre Freeman, the Grinnell High School diving coach.
I don't remember that poll last time we watched it.
It definitely is normally there. Maybe we had a slightly different camera angle, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I was just thinking, even if I brought it here to my left,
you're right.
The pole would still be there.
You're right. But I'm very confident they didn't move it last time. Because it's a bear to move. Not impossible, but difficult. Not totally clear to me. Oh, I see what's going on. You can't see it on the feed, but we're getting diving sheets organized. If you've never scored diving, once you know how to do it, it's simple enough. But when you're first learning it, you think you'd have to be taking calculus or something. And it is very specific in how you do it. And I'm guessing they are figuring out dive order. And what's interesting about diving is you put all of your dives on the dive sheet before you start diving. You have your DDs on there and everything. And I think this is true for high school diving as well. You can step up on the board and tell them that you're going to do another dive. And then they'll change it right as you're getting ready to dive. But whatever's written on that diving sheet before you do your dive, when you execute your dive, That's the dive you have to be doing. And if you don't score any points. Looks like we have dive sheets organized. Our announcer's walking over to announce the diving. Should get started here shortly. But with 10 divers, 6 dives each, I'm pretty confident we're doing 6 dives here. We've got a good half hour of diving going on. And it doesn't look like Will Freeman's officiating, judging. Looks like our swimming official is going to be judging along with Dieter Freeman, and I assume that is Boone's diving coach.
Ladies, our diving order is Ivy Whitaker from Grinnell, Nora Nickel from Grinnell, Cameron Russell from Grinnell, Amira Philippic from Boone, Aubrey Holder from Grinnell, Chloe Williams from Boone, Cora Kellogg from Grinnell, and Caitlin Keck from Grinnell. We now enter the first round of diving with our first diver, Ivy Whitaker. 302C reverse somersault tuck, 1.6.
So Ivy is
Incomplete dive.
So that's what I was just talking about. She didn't do the dive that's written down on her sheet, so incomplete.
301B reverse dive, pike, 1.7.
Ivy is probably ranked in the top 60, 75 in the state, probably.
Seven, 6.5, 6.5.
So when they
Cameron
score,
Russell, 301A reverse dive straight, 1.8.
so when they score diving, there are very technical rules about how much you're supposed to deduct from that perfect 10-point score. It's dependent on a number of things. How your toes are pointed, how tight you are, how far you are from the board, how close you are to the board.
7.
There's advantage in going higher because it gives you
301C reverse dive tuck, 1.6.
because it gives you more time to execute your dive. And that's why you want to be able to drive that board down and ride it high. Plus it's pretty. This is the same dive I think that Ivy was attempting to do.
Five and a half, 5.5. Aubrey Holder, 301C reverse dive tuck, 1.6. Six, 5. Chloe Williams, 301C reverse dive tuck, 1.6.
So when they're judging and deciding what dives they're going to do, they want to look for what's the highest DD dive, degree of difficulty dive I can do and score the highest points. What's the combination that will get me the highest score? Because they're going to add those together, average them up, multiply it times that DD to get that high score.
5, 6. Cora Kellogg, 301C reverse dive tuck, 1.6.
So if you're an exceptionally athletic person, you could do some really high DD dives not very well and score significantly higher than if you were to do a simple, quote-unquote, simple dive, like a forward dive, and do that pretty well.
3.5, 3.5, 4.5. Caitlin Kemp, 301C reverse dive tuck, 1.6. Incomplete dive. Moving to round 2 of diving. Ivy Whitaker, 101B forward dive pipe, 1.3.
Got to bring back her confidence after the first round.
303C reverse 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.1. Four and a half, 4.5, 5. Cameron Russell, 303B, reverse 1.5 somersault pipe, 2.4. Six and a half, 6, 6. Amaya Philippek, 5122D, forward somersault 1 twist free, 1.9. Five and a half, 5.5, 6.5. Aubrey Holder, 103B, forward 1.5 somersault pipe, 1.7.
So the diver that just dove ranked 24th in the state. Aubrey ranked 15th. You can see a sharpness in between the two.
Yep.
I mean, 24 in the state, that's great. I'm not
7.
diminishing that. It's just, it's very competitive as you move up that ranking.
101B, forward dive pipe, 1.3.
And there's still plenty of room for Aubrey to improve on, even on that dive.
Six, 5, 5. Cora Kellogg, 103B, forward 1.5 somersault pipe, 1.7.
As we watch these athletes, especially in diving, sometimes I think we can forget how difficult this sport is. I think many of us would struggle to even touch our toes, and they have to do it multiple times per meet. And if you have ever landed flat on water,
6, 6.5.
you know how much it can hurt.
Caitlin Kemp, 101A, forward dive straight, 1.4.
Even from 1 meter board. And you know, there's even a risk of, you know, concussion in this event and things like that. And so you got to have a lot of respect for their commitment doing difficult things.
2, 1.5, 2.
A little bit
We
of
now move
discussion
into the third round of diving with Ivy Whitaker.
what score is allowed on that dive, I think.
Forward, 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6.
Oh, that was a tight tuck. So tight, little over rotation.
6.5, 6, sit. Nora Nickel, 203B back, 1.5 somersault pike, 2.3.
See some of the divers wearing caps, some of them not. It's just a matter of preference. What do you want to feel when you're diving?
Six, fix. Cameron Russell, 203B back, 1.5 somersault pike, 2.3.
So here you go, #1 diver in the state. So it might look like her legs are laid out over the water and she's not going in straight. But she gets them straight as she enters.
5.5, 5.5, 4.5. Amaya Philippiak, 103B forward, 1.5 somersault pike, 1.7. Sit, 5.5, 5. Aubrey Holder, 104C, forward double somersault tuck, 2.2. Seven. Chloe Williams, 103C, forward 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6. Cora Kellogg, 104C, forward double somersault tuck, 2.2. Four and a half, 5.5. Caitlin Kemp, 201A, back dive straight, 1.7. Three, 4. We are now entering the fourth round of diving with Ivy Whitaker. 401C, inward dive tuck, 1.4. Six and a half. Nora Nickel, 5231D, back 1.5 somersault, half twist free, 2.1.
A lot of these Grinnell divers have had success after just being great athletes generally, some gymnastics experience, but they also have an incredible coach. you don't know, Peter Freeman, been on our national team.
6.5, 6.5, 7. Cameron Russell, 105C, forward 2.5 somersault tuck, 2.4.
She's a 3-time national champion on 3-meter and synchro. Dove at the 2013 World Championships. And I think what's really notable about this
7.5, 7.5.
is that she came up
401B inward dive pike, 1.5.
in this sport at Grinnell High School with even less coaching. At that time when she started diving, if I remember correctly, she didn't even have a diving coach. The swim coach tried to learn as much as he could and teach her as much as he could. Eventually, they were able to bring in some diving knowledge, but some incredible work on her part.
6.5.
So what year did she graduate then? From high school?
From high school.
Aubrey Holder, 403C inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2.
Oh, 06.
06.
Seven. Get ready for it. 6, 7. Chloe Williams, 401B inward dive pipe, 1.5.
For the size of our school, we've had many successful swimmers and divers on both the girls and boys side.
5.5, 6.5. Cora Kellogg, 403C inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2.
The coach I was just talking about that started with Deidre's diving, Mark Stanley. Still some of the records that stand at the high school, he was coaching, but we've seen plenty of those records fall. With Travis coaching on the boys' side and Sarah coaching on the girls.
6.5, 6, 6. Caitlin Keck, 5211A, back dive half twist straight, 1.8.
And Deidre coaching divers. This round and the next one for diving, yeah.
Five and a half. Nora Nickel, 104B forward double somersault pike, 2.3. Seven. Cameron Russell, 403B inward 1.5 somersault pike, 2.4.
This is an event where Grinnell should gain big points. Start eating back at that lead that I assume Boone has right now.
Seven and a half. Amaya Filipiak, 402C inward somersault tuck, 1.6. Four, 3.5, 3.5. Aubrey Holder, 203C, back, 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.0.
And through the next few events, I think Grinnell will stand pretty strong. And we'll see if they show us the score at any point through the meet based on the computer scoring, but it quite possibly could come down to the last event because of how strong Boone was in the beginning of the meet.
Don't start yawning, Tim.
And Court Kellogg, 52-23D, back somersault, 1.5 twists free, 2.3.
Want to apologize to everyone listening. We've been trying to dissect this different noise that's out there, but we come under the conclusion it's coming from the PA system. So we won't be able to get rid of that noise, and we're going to take is this a 5-minute break?
I think that's what he said.
5-minute break, so we'll hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. You're watching Girls Swimming on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network.
It's more than just a game, it's a tradition, a community. Every Friday night tradition deserves a homemade favorite, Polly-I's Pizza. Stop in on 5th Ave in downtown Grinnell or order online at pollyi'sgrinnellia.com. Go Tigers!
With rising premium costs, you might be tempted to pull back on how much insurance you carry. But it's still important to have robust coverage from a company you can rely on in case disaster strikes. We believe in neighbors helping neighbors. We've been a trusted source for quality insurance since 1909. We offer both personal and business insurance products, and we can help protect what you value most. You can trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual. For more information, visit grinnellmutual.com.
At Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, we know that the Tigers have a game plan every time they take the field or court. And at Ramsey Weeks, we have a plan for you too. Check out our website at ramseyweeks.com to get started. You can find all your insurance needs from residential to commercial, and if it is real estate you are looking for, you are one click away in the top menu. Here you can browse our residential and commercial listings. Don't forget, let Ramsey Weeks create a game plan for your new insurance or real estate purchase. Go Tigers!
Now is the perfect time to start your new shop house or post-frame building construction project. Lumber prices are dropping to historic lows, and Proline Building Company is excited to pass those savings directly to our customers. We are offering special discounts on all new projects. Our construction calendar has immediate openings, so you can take advantage of today's low material cost without delay. Ready to get started? Visit us at www.iowadreambuilder.com, and let's get started today. Weldon Drywall is your local drywall professional, serving a 70-mile perimeter around Iowa City. They provide services to commercial builders, general contractors, and residential homeowners. Projects can include commercial build-outs, new construction for multi-family and residential homes, to remodeling projects such as your new addition to basement drywall projects, even down to the simplest 2x2 patch in your wall. Weldon Drywall is here for you. Check out our website at weldon-drywall.com and fill out our contact form for your free estimate today.
Hey, Tiger fans, I'm Pastor Phil inviting you to try church at Prairie Lakes, where you'll hear that God loves you no matter what. Parents, your kids are going to love learning about God in our safe and fun children's environment, so no matter where you're at or what you believe, you can look for God at Prairie Lakes Church. Go Tigers, and I hope to see you soon.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We're your trusted partner in everything signage and graphics.
Mayflower Community is currently hiring nursing staff. If you are passionate about healthcare and the well-being of older adults, Mayflower Community wants you. Employees enjoy a daily meal, coffee cappuccino and rotisserie, fitness center, and a family-oriented work culture that is flexible with your needs. You will find competitive pay and benefits. Mayflower Community, a place to call home and a great place to work. For more information, visit our website at mayflowerhomes.com or call 641-236-6151.
Tired of bad internet and bad service? Switch to MCG and experience the benefits of better internet. We employ a local team that answers the phone when you call. We provide same-day support and symmetrical upload and download. We offer benefits like free install, free router, and no introductory pricing. We offer internet that works when you need it. No data caps, no fine print, and absolutely no hidden fees. Sign up with MCG today and experience the benefits of better internet service.
The Dairy Barn, located at 1810 6th Avenue in Grinnell. Stop by before or after the big ball game to pick up your favorite ice cream or flavor of the day yogurt. They also have a full line of delicious foods, including tenderloins, pulled pork sandwiches, popular chicken wraps, and much, much more. Don't have time to stop at the barn? Catch them on the move at some of the favorite events around Grinnell, or give us a call and try out our catering. And don't forget to check out www.dairybarngrinnell.com to order online or the Chow Now app. Remember, I scream, you scream, we all scream for Dairy Barn.
Grinnell Booster Club supports all Tiger athletics from the middle school all the way up to the high school through fundraising, membership drives, concession stand revenues at all the home events. There are many different ways you can get involved. One, through membership levels from a single, a family, even into the business. There are many attractive levels that you can be a part of this wonderful club. Your membership funds help support uniforms, warm-ups, summer speed camps, baseball and softball batting cages, and the list goes on. You want to be a part of a great group? Join the Grinnell Booster Club today.
Hey Tiger fans, Colton here at Wagon Wheels West in Grinnell, and today's game day boot is this men's Twisted X boot. This boot is going to be super comfortable with that self-stretch technology, while also being greatly durable if you have to go and work in the yard or you're out on the job all day. This is going to be the boot for you. But don't get it twisted. This boot is going to look wonderful under a nice pair of blue jeans if you got to go out on the town. And stop in, try it, and good luck, Tigers.
Welcome back to the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. I'm your host, Dan Walker, along with Tim Hammond on the color analysis, and shortly we'll have Grinnell College alum Joe Zimpson join us also. So Joe will be joining me next, or in 2 weeks when we come back. Tim's going to be out of town, so he'll be joining us. But I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to all of our sponsors tonight: Poly Ice Pizza, Grinnell Mutual, Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, Proline Building Company, Weldon Drywall, Latitude Signage and Design, Mayflower Community, Mahaska Communications, Prairie Lakes Church, Wagon Wheels West, S&S Electric, Unity Point, Grinnell Hospital, the Grinnell Family Dentistry, and also a shout out to Grinnell Firestone and Mindy Hull's Exit Realty. Also I want to say thank you to Brent Nickel State Farm. Brent on all of our sports sponsors, all of the different events and periods and endings and all that stuff. So thank you to Brent Nickel for sponsoring the three different sections tonight. So shout out to Brent Nickel State Farm. If you're looking for insurance, stop down to see Brent Nickel State Farm. Also, you go into Ramsey Weeks, check them out for their insurance. If you're looking for a house, we got a couple real estate people at Ramsey Weeks Real Estate and Mindy Hull's Exit Realty. So thank you to all those people that help make this broadcast come to you for free, no cost.
Oh, thanks. Should be getting ready for the 100 fly here shortly.
Last week, Mr. Announcer was moving things along a little bit behind schedule today. There we go.
Swimmers, the pool is closed. Event 6, please report to the blocks. Event 6, girls 100-yard butterfly, please report to the blocks.
So like I said, next few events, I expect we're going to see some strong showings from Grinnell. But I've been surprised at the beginning of the meet. I might have missed it, but I'm pretty sure post event 4, the scores are for the top 2 teams, Grinnell at 100 and Boone at 125. And again, relays can make up that 25 points. So with not much effort. So
Tigers, please report to your lane.
I didn't see it thrown up there, but I also might have missed it too. So.
getting all our timers back in order. Should have a full 10 lanes for the 100 fly.
Event 6, Girls Varsity 100-yard butterfly. Mr. Starter. In lane 1 from Shellsburg, Breaststroke. In lane 2 from Boone, Brunt. In lane 3 from Williamsburg, Perko. In lane 4 from Boone, Houston. In lane 5 from Grinnell, Piper Rundle. In lane 6 from Grinnell, Zoe Rundle. In lane 7 from Williamsburg, Wilkinson. In lane 8 from Boone, Owens. In lane 9 from Williamsburg, Rittenhouse. And in lane 10 from Shellsburg, Eggleston.
So we can see Grinnell leading here pretty handily. Boone in second, Grinnell in third. The seed times for this, being that Boone has put in 2 seed times with 00 for the hundredths of a second, I'm assuming that those are estimates, and that's why we're seeing Boone in second right now, but I think there's a possibility that the second Rundle is going to be strong towards the end. She is pulling forward with each stroke. It is going to be very close. It might be down to who has the timing the best, and it is Grinnell. Grinnell goes 1-2 as we expected. And it looks like Piper dropped about half a second, a little more, and Zoe's right on just outside of her best time by about a second.
So a little bit of difference opposed to the normal duel that we ran the other night when this is a multiple team event. When you have the scores of multiple teams, that spreads that number out.
Yeah.
So when Grinnell takes the 1-2, it puts them in a little bit better, and then if they're, hopefully the stagger is each team takes not a 3-4, but a 3 and a 5, and it helps spread it out.
Yes, however, we see Boone's 3 and 4 there, so definitely can't offset 1 and 2.
Right.
But having that depth, it makes a difference. So again, we should see here in the 100 free now.
Event 7, Girls Varsity 100-yard
3 heats of this.
Heat 1 of 3, Mr. Starter.
We don't have any Grinnell swimmers in the first heat. It is Williamsburg and Shellsburg. 5 of these are exhibition.
In lane 1, Rat Akaram.
So when we see when we get to the third heat, just like we would like to see in every other event coming off the blocks. Again, you've heard me say this, we really want to see people drive out from the blocks. Not down, really jump off the blocks.
And in lane 9,
dive out and then down. That way you're using gravity and your power to really shoot into the water. And once you hit that water and you go in, since you're going down, as you arch your body, that really shoots you forward. We don't want to dive straight down off the blocks, and we don't want to land on top of the water.
Tim,
yeah, go ahead.
When they have multiple heats like this, 3 heats, so you said there was 5, I think, that are not being counted or exhibition. Do they get put in the heat by ranking? So like is the third heat and then you get to the second heat, typically they take average times, and then the first heat is going to be average times of the fastest. Is that how they split the heats up?
Yeah, so in this meet, they're going to start with the fastest swimmer in lane 5 of the last heat. And then they'll just count out through that heat for the fastest 10. Then they'll go into heat 2, put the fastest 10 in circle seated there, and then to the first heat. And we have people in the first heat who could
Varsity girls
score
100
points.
yard freestyle. Heat
We
2
actually have
includes
in the
Mr.
third
Starter.
fastest heat 1 exhibition swimmer. And so yeah, they can be seated anywhere. Now that's not always true in every meet. It depends on the meet's rules. Looks like we have a couple swimmers missing
In
from this
lane 1
heat.
from Williamsburg, Hera Gagova. In lane 2 from Williamsburg, Haley. In lane 3 from
Lane
Williamsburg,
6,
Montrose.
Grinnell.
In lane 4 from Boone, Griffiths. In lane 6 from Grinnell, Moore.
All
in
of
lane 7 from Williamsburg, Nash. In lane 9 from Boone, Owens. And in lane 10 from Grinnell, Wolken.
All of these swimmers are exhibition. But that doesn't mean that they're not swimming hard. You can see Grinnell and Boone racing out there in front. This is a great opportunity for Bailey and the others to, test what they can do. Put together something good here, and in the next meet, you might be swimming for points.
We talked about this in a couple of the earlier meets. When you swim exhibition, it's because we're above and beyond the allocated numbers, right?
Yep, the number of entries that you can have in a meet. And oftentimes, and again, it depends on the rules of the meet, oftentimes you could be swimming your allowed events and then still be entered in another exhibition event if you wanted to. That's not true in all meets, but oftentimes you can in the middle of the season. So there's a possibility.
And
that
if
some of
we
these-
were just doing a 2-team, like a duel, where we actually swim JV, those exhibition to turn into JV.
Yeah.
Varsity
Yeah.
girls 100
It'd be
yard
really rare
freestyle,
for you to have an
3 and
exhibition
3, Mr. Starter.
All right, here we go.
In lane 1 from Williamsburg, Schweitzer.
Expect a strong showing here from Grinnell. And right now, right off the start, we have 3 Grinnell swimmers leading the race. Boone is coming in for a fast turn on the other side in lane 4. Grinnell still leading strongly in 1 and first and second place.
In lane 7 from Grinnell, Lindbergh. In lane 8.
The announcer's daughter giving it her all, trying to fight for third place. But it's going to be close between second, third, and fourth. Looks like Kinkle's got the win, though. When you're coming off that turn, keep your head down. No breathing. Flags to the finish. No breathing. You'll make it to the finish without breathing. Hinkle came in at 57.22. Just a little, about half a second off of her season best, I think, which you continue to hear me say, that's all right. And same true for Seek, just a little off of her season best. And Lindbergh is right about the same amount. But 1-2-4, that's again, pretty good showing, good points there. We are preparing for the 500 now, so the official has gone to make sure that cards are out, ready to go. Counters know what they're doing on the far end of the pool. We're going to have 3 swimmers in the first heat of the 500. from Boone, Vinton-Schellsburg, and Williamsburg. And then there will be, I think it's 7 swimmers in Heat 2. We expect Grinnell to have a good showing in Heat 2 of the 500, and I'm sure we will. However, I think it's notable that Avery Howie from Boone is swimming in this event, and I think her coach has entered her
Varsity girls, 500 yards, freestyle.
time that's
Heat 1 and
made
2.
up for the season,
Mr.
I
Starter.
suspect, based on it being zeros in the hundreds. So
welcome, Joe.
Yeah. Joe Simpson has just joined us, and I think Dan was sharing earlier during the break that Joe is a Grinnell College alum and has a daughter swimming.
And in lane 6,
I do.
from Williamsburg, Brooklyn, Mountain.
Half of the teams feels like my daughters because I've coached many of them.
Yeah, right. Yes, Joe was here helping out in rec swimming and club as well.
Yeah, a little bit of club swimming, as long as that lasted. And the swim camp, I got to help with that a little bit.
Club swimming it ebbs and flows in Grinnell.
It really
depending
does.
On the interest and the number of swimmers. So we have 20 lengths here, and you can see splits coming in at 37 up to 49, it looks like. And they've just hit their third length, or coming into their third length.
Coming up on the 100 mark, so 20% done. And they should be settling into a pace now. We'll see how they can hold it, which is really the name of the game in this 500, is find that pace and hang on to it.
Just one heat of this?
Two. So the next heat will have, I think, 7 athletes in it. Eight, sorry. Kylie Zelstra is ranked 38th in the state for the 500. And like I said, Boone will be on both sides of her. And then Peyton, her sister, will be in lane 7 in the next heat. And I think there's a good chance that despite Kylie's seed time being quite a bit faster than Boone's swimmers, they might try to give her a race.
Yeah, I know that she's been dealing with an injury, Kylie, and hasn't swum the 500 very much this year yet.
Noticed that.
Yeah. So I hope that this is a good sign that she's entered in this, and she's going to push through it and give herself a surprise. Hopefully all of us too.
So in these longer swimming events, is it a balance between arms and legs, or are you able to achieve a little bit more by just going a little bit slower with your arms, put more legs into it, or it has to be 100% equal?
The opposite of what your last
That's a great question.
So the vast majority of people are going to be looking to not kick very much. However, if you want to swim this race as fast as you can, you need to kick just as hard. And so generally in swimming, we have 3 rates of kicking. We have a 2-beat kick, 4-beat kick, and a 6-beat kick. Most people are using the 2 and the 6 throughout most races. In the 500 and the mile, people might be using a 2-beat kick, open water swimming 2-beat kick. But again, if you want to be at the top, the majority of our elite swimmers in the 500, the mile, and even most open water swimming now might be kicking a 6-beat kick during the race. And so we can look at the girls swimming right now in lane 6, who's just turning at the wall. She's kicking pretty fast. In fact, all 3 of these girls are. But and maybe you'll change your rate of kicking while you're swimming this.
As you evaluate the competition in the other lanes, you can make a change, an adjustment. The issue is that obviously the legs are some of the largest muscle groups in the body. That uses a lot of oxygen. And so if you're putting all that oxygen into your legs and you're not getting as much output from your kick as you do from your arms, you want to maybe save that oxygen to power your upper body through the water and just use the kick for stability.
So that was a great explanation. Now you can tell me, is the 6B, is that going to be more velocity of what you're seeing, like the kick? So like, let's say, for example, the gal that's in the center lane, you're seeing a bigger splash out of it, opposed to the girl that's in the number 4 lane. It's more reserved. It's like I would call it more of a propulsion type kick.
So lane 4 has now switched to a 2-beat kick.
Okay.
And lane 5 is still, well, now she's headed towards a 2-beat kick, but she was just at a 6.
So
probably getting a little tired at this point.
It's a little bit more reserved.
Yeah.
That you're not going to see as big of a splash opposed to.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying here, but actually, the splash is not necessarily ideal, because if you're splashing, that means your foot is coming out of the water and then coming back down in. And while you might want to try and push on that surface tension of the water, generally your feet being in the water, not deep, but inside the water, will give you the best propulsion.
I had a wise swim coach I worked with up in Minneapolis who pointed out that many of us junior coaches were focusing a lot of time on getting a really nice recovery, high elbows and loose fingers and wrists, and really smooth out of the water arm stroke. And he said that's not where it matters. The air doesn't give you any resistance, so you want to, as long as you're getting propulsion, as long as you're making your movement matter in the water, what you do out of the water doesn't have so much of an effect.
So we hear the bell ringing, and that's signaling to that lead swimmer that she is on her last 50. But going back to Joe's comment just now, it's a lot easier for us to see what's happening above the water.
It is so much easier to pay attention to that.
Well, I will tell you this, the live stream network's not going to buy an underwater camera, so we can explain it any better. So.
All right. We can apply for $1,000 or something.
So one thing that you'll see different here at a high school meet than what you'll see in the elite meets on TV is that in the distance events like this is that he rang the bell just for the lead swimmer. And that might be confusing to people if they're watching it on TV or something, because the bell will be rang for every swimmer.
Half the time I think it's for the timers to wake them up.
Right. Yeah, because when you're swimming, most of the time you're not hearing that bell.
Yeah. Exactly. You don't know if it's your bell or the next guy's bell.
You're hearing the blood pulse in your ears. That's what you're hearing.
Yeah.
But I want to reinforce, you hear me say this constantly through these meets. Even in this event where it's long, you can want air real bad when you come off that wall. But the longer you can stay underwater, balancing how much air you're getting for how much energy production you can do, staying underwater in tight streamline just means less strokes and over the long thing. But and I was about to say this earlier related to one of your comments, Joe, is if you're gonna do something in a meet, you got to train it in practice.
Absolutely, yeah. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect.
So in a normal, like in a preparation for practicing for this, are these girls normally swimming this 3, 4, 5 times in a practice?
That is very rare.
Yeah.
And there might be some coaches out there that would have someone do that on a more regular basis, but the that's very rare. Just because what we really want to be doing is pushing your metabolic systems as much as we can, and then recover enough to push them again. And if you try to just swim repeat 500s, your body is just not going to be able to keep that up. You know, practice day after day after day after a hard practice the day before, even if you weren't doing 500 repeats.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of coaches, the coaching has moved to pace work, so they'll do 50s or 100s at the pace they want to be swimming in the 500. So their body learns that muscle memory of this is what it feels like to go this speed. This is what it feels like to go a little bit faster. This is what it feels like to go slower. And your muscles fall into that rhythm, like Tim was saying. In the practice, you're going to perform like you practice. So if you can perform that way in practice, your meet is going to fall into line.
It's very similar to there's about 7 world-renowned cross-country coaches out there, and that's how they teach cross-country running. It's more of the pace, slow them down to pace it, to stretch them out instead of making them run as fast as they can, then burn them out.
Right, right.
So again, another 20 lengths.
From Grinnell by way of Brooklyn, Peyton Manat.
This one will be a little bit more exciting, a little bit more action with a full pool here of 8 swimmers.
In lane 4, from Boone, Mackenzie Clapp. In lane 5,
And I know that all of us here in Tiger Country are excited to see what Kylie's going to be doing. And she's taking a nice lead early on.
In lane 7, from Grinnell, Peyton Zilstra. In lane 8, from Vinton-Shellsburg, Maren Purdy. And in lane 9, from Williamsburg, Michaela Keller.
Before the race started, I don't know if the camera could quite catch it, but lane 8 was doing a little dance behind the blocks. And that's good to see. Stay relaxed. You don't have to get worried about what's going on here, or distract yourself if that's what you need to do.
That helps too. But that is a really good sign to see an athlete staying loose and relaxed with a little dance, a little bit of stretching, a little bit of banter. Not as much smack talk goes on in swimming, but every now and then you see a little bit of it.
So I mentioned before this race, or before this event, that I think there's a possibility that Boone, would give Kylie a run, and I think she's trying to be strategic at this point.
She does look like she's holding back a little bit and sticking to her strategy, which is probably smart. I like to see that in a swimmer. But Kylie is going after it, is going to make her work for it.
Yeah, and I don't know, they probably can't see it as much on the camera, but the three of us sitting here, you look at Kylie, her head is up out of the water a little bit, and I noticed that the Boone swimmer is more just flatline. When she takes her breath, it's just a quarter turn, and Kylie's sitting up a little bit higher. Is that going to affect the outcome of how you're playing in the water?
Very likely. And it's not really about planing. Humans can't swim fast enough to plane, but we did try back in the 70s and 80s.
We talked about it anyways.
But what's really going to end up mattering is if you look real close, when Kylie's head is high, her hips are lower. And that means that she's going to end up pushing more water as she swims. And that means that she's going to have to pull harder. That means that her stroke probably isn't able to be as efficient in where she's grabbing the water and where she's finishing. Now this Boone swimmer, like you said, is nice and flat in the water. Her head is low. One goggle's in the water when she takes her breath, which is a great indication that her head's low, and her hips are really high. And so she is more efficient right now. She is not swimming faster, but come the end of the race, she might have more energy.
Yeah.
And I did notice that up in lane 2, Manat is now gone into that second place.
Yes. It's a close one.
Yeah, Boone kind of had a better coming off the board there, but
and I think actually Manat has been lapped.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
So she's fallen behind by a lap. And Kylie is still muscling.
Oh, there.
through
She
this.
just sped up. She came off that wall and is going faster.
Yeah.
So that's, if I have math right, 7 more links.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Or I should say she's given more effort.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I think she is. That
Is she
split
holding
might
steady
have
with
been
her
slightly slower, but that's what.
Okay.
I mean, that's okay. Like,
Yeah.
she's coming to the end of the race. She needs to be giving more effort
Yep.
to maybe go the same speed. You know.
She's only got 5 lengths to go.
All right.
She probably is feeling the fatigue, and she's responding to by picking it up.
We all know that she can work.
Yes.
My fatigue would be going backwards.
Do any of us know? I didn't see. Did she run this past weekend?
I did not see
Race?
that she did.
Okay.
Dan
usually knows. It's like he knows all the stats about who's doing what.
I want to say it was actually tonight was there.
Kylie's coming in on her last lap, so we'll hear the bell here.
Peyton just went a 38.0.
Nice.
You can tell Kylie's been giving it her all because her splits, I mean, even though she's trying harder, they're not dropping a lot.
No.
But we did just see Boone just drop a much faster split than what
She's
Kylie
picking
did.
it up,
She's
and-
going to try and catch her, but I'd be shocked if it happens.
She doesn't have enough time right now, and she has picked up her kick quite a bit, and she's going after it and using up the last reserves. But not soon enough to catch Kylie. Here she is.
There you go. 5:47.
Excellent. And that last split was a little bit faster than she was trending on the previous 5 or 6 50s.
If we look at Boone's last split,
32
3 seconds faster than her previous one.
I hope her coach discusses that with her.
Oh, I know him well. I'm sure he will have
good
conversation.
And here comes Peyton in to finish.
So Grinnell is
6:17.
1-4. Boone is 2-3, which again, the score has to be very close right now. Peyton's going to come in and be another potential scorer for Grinnell.
Excellent. Payne's got 1
Sorry, that
length
was
left.
Peyton
Peyton Manette
Yeah, that's
in
who it
lane
was.
2. And she's picking up her pace as well. So good to see. Even the junior swimmers, the younger kids, are learning these techniques and these strategies and applying them in their races. It's great to see.
Peyton's got a good drop there.
Yes.
Full, what is it? 11 seconds?
Wow.
That's a second per 50.
Well, that's tremendous.
We got the 200 free relay coming next. We're going to have 2 heats of it. Grinnell will have a C and D in the first heat, along with Vinton Shellsburg. Grinnell's C and D, of course, our exhibition.
As we're getting ready for that, I just want to say thank you for everyone for joining us. If you like what you're seeing, go ahead and give us a thumbs up on the YouTube page. And if you're on our Tiger Life Sports website, you can go ahead and just click the same thing. There's a little thumbs up on that little box to give us a like
Event
there.
9,
If you're a
girls,
Grinnell
200-yard
swim
freestyle
follower,
relay.
go ahead and hit the
1 of
subscribe
2
button. There is
is
one
the
more
starter.
swim meet that we'll cover coming up on the rest of the year. So again, thank you for joining us, and give us your likes if you like what you're seeing.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we have 3 divers swimming in this
Oh,
relay.
really?
the state's #1 diver.
Wow.
Will be the final leg of lane 4.
In lane 4 from Grinnell, Bailey Moore, Oracella, Aubrey Holder, and Cameron Russell.
Yes,
in
that's
lane
true.
5 from Vinton, Shellsburg, Bailey Eggleston.
Cameron Russell does have a signature unique stroke with her head high, Tarzan-like, the old Johnny Weissmuller freestyle.
Ivy Whitaker.
Oh, I think that's Lillian Ford. Isn't it?
She'll be anchoring in lane 4.
Oh, okay.
That'll be
She does
exciting
as
to see.
well.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay. I thought you were commenting
Oh.
on lane 6.
Lane
Some
6
in the
is,
same way.
yes, evoking Johnny Weissmuller as well.
Oh, another diver that's leading off lane 6.
Oh, no.
Well, I think the
If you just copy the best diver in the state, that's what you should do.
That's exactly right.
I think the divers, do they make up one whole team?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Oh
'cause-
wait, maybe in the C relay. Nope.
Lane
Well,
4, I think, has one
yes,
regular swimmer.
The C relay.
Is it?
The C relay has all divers.
Is it all divers?
'Cause
Okay.
I know when
Oh,
when I came in, there was one of the gals made the comment that all the divers are doing a relay.
Right, and then the D relay is 3 of 4 are divers. Coach Freeman used to make fun of me how I would enter the water off the diving board.
Oh, really?
And if you watch the divers going in the water here, you'll see that they don't exactly do streamline, most of them. Most of them will, well, that one did.
That one was nice.
But
Well
the
done.
one in lane 6, they grab their hands the way they do when they enter off of the diving boards.
I believe that one is Cameron, isn't it? Yes.
I don't think I ever had a dive that wasn't a belly flop.
I spent one summer diving, I think.
I took one semester class from the late great Ray Obermiller to learn to dive, and
he was great.
It did not help as much as I hoped.
Here's Nora Nickel finishing up the race, the 6th best diver in the state. Lost her goggles, but she's used to being in the water without them.
Yep. She is powering through, though.
She is.
She is.
A little struggle there to breathe, but there you go. You did it.
Excellent job, divers.
All right, in the second heat of the 200 free relay, we have GHS's A, which is ranked 26th in the state. Boone's A, 35th in the state. And Williamsburg, 41st in the state. And we'll see if Boone can surprise us again.
In lane 1 from Williamsburg, Sherlock.
So we have Grinnell's top sprinter leading off for them.
2 from Williamsburg, Matt Montrose, Maven, and Smith. In lane 3
Like to
from
see
Grinnell,
a decent
Vincent
lead to
Campy,
start off
Matt Tauber,
and hold it. Currently Grinnell is leading first and second, but Boone is coming into second place.
Yeah.
Smith. In lane 5
After this length, there we go. I don't have to recruise myself anymore. My daughter finished her lead-off leg there in lane 3.
Houston, Hauser, Houston, and Clapp.
Very well swum.
The announcer's daughter is currently in the water.
In lane 8 from Boone, Griffiths,
And Grinnell is leading strong.
From Vinton, Shellsburg, Carolyn, Smith,
And it is a battle for second place there.
Grinnell is currently leading with our B relay.
Ellsbury, Brock.
But that was a great start from Boone.
That was.
Took back to the second.
The key thing in this quick 200 freestyle, it's all sprints, this relay, and the most important thing is to keep the starts legal so that the exchange is clean, the the finishing swimmer touches before the starting swimmer leaves the block.
I have a feeling that we are going to see a season best here from the Grinnell relay, and maybe by a bit.
They are finishing very strong here the last 5 yards. That's what we like to see. No breath all the way in.
48.50 is
5-0.
about their time.
Yeah.
It looks like the button might have been pushed before the pad, but that is over half a second off of their season best.
Fantastic.
And lane 3 comes in third for Grinnell. That split is, I'm certain, not correct. Somebody got out of the water a little late. But
Yeah.
that's all right. Time still counts.
It is amazing what the back end computer will do to compensate.
Yeah. Anybody that's ran that computer back there has plenty of appreciation for the people that do.
Yes. It takes a lot of patience and a cool head as well as a cool hand.
We have Williamsburg C relay finishing. You can see the good sportsmanship. Everybody staying in the water.
Love to see that.
And now we're into the 100 backstroke. We have 3 events left, including the 100 backstroke. We'll have
Ladies and
3
gentlemen, we will take a
swimmers.
5-minute break. Swimmers, the pool is open.
5-minute break.
All right.
Before we get there.
We're going to hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be back in 5 minutes. You're watching girls swimming on the Tiger Sports live stream network. Girls wrestling.
It's more than just a game, it's a tradition, a community. Every Friday night tradition deserves a homemade favorite, Polly-I's Pizza. Stop in on 5th Ave in downtown Grinnell or order online at pollyi'sgrinnellia.com. Go Tigers!
With rising premium costs, you might be tempted to pull back on how much insurance you carry. But it's still important to have robust coverage from a company you can rely on in case disaster strikes. We believe in neighbors helping neighbors. We've been a trusted source for quality insurance since 1909. We offer both personal and business insurance products, and we can help protect what you value most. You can trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual. For more information, visit grinnellmutual.com.
At Ramsey Weeks Insurance and Ramsey Weeks Real Estate, we know that the Tigers have a game plan every time they take the field or court. And at Ramsey Weeks, we have a plan for you too. Check out our website at ramseyweeks.com to get started. You can find all your insurance needs from residential to commercial, and if it is real estate you are looking for, you are one click away in the top menu. Here you can browse our residential and commercial listings. Don't forget, let Ramsey Weeks create a game plan for your new insurance or real estate purchase. Go Tigers! Now is the perfect time to start your new shop house or post-frame building construction project. Lumber prices are dropping to historic lows, and Proline Building Company is excited to pass those savings directly to our customers. We are offering special discounts on all new projects. Our construction calendar has immediate openings so you can take advantage of today's low material cost without delay. Ready to get started? Visit us at www.iowadreambuilder.com and let's get started today. Weldon Drywall is your local drywall professional, serving a 70-mile perimeter around Iowa City. They provide services to commercial builders, general contractors, and residential homeowners. Projects can include commercial build-outs, new construction for multi-family and residential homes, to remodeling projects such as your new addition to basement drywall projects, even down to the simplest 2x2 patch in your wall. Weldon Drywall is here for you. Check out our website at weldon-drywall.com and fill out our contact form for your free estimate today.
Hey, Tiger fans, I'm Pastor Phil inviting you to try church at Prairie Lakes, where you'll hear that God loves you no matter what. Parents, your kids are going to love learning about God in our safe and fun children's environments, so no matter where you're at with what you believe, you can look for God at Prairie Lakes Church. Go Tigers, and I hope to see you soon.
This is a story about signs. It's also a story about people's experiences. The humble sign. They are everywhere. But signs are more than just a plaque on the wall, an arrow, or letters on a building exterior. Signs help you leave a legacy or start a new chapter in life. All those signs have to start somewhere, and that's where we come in. We are your trusted partner in everything signage and graphics.
Mayflower Community is currently hiring nursing staff. If you are passionate about healthcare and the well-being of older adults, Mayflower Community wants you. Employees enjoy a daily meal, coffee cappuccino and lotus drinks, fitness center, and a family-oriented work culture that is flexible with your needs. You will find competitive pay and benefits. Mayflower Community, a place to call home and a great place to work. For more information, visit our website at mayflowerhomes.com or call 641-236-6151.
Tired of bad internet and bad service? Switch to MCG and experience the benefits of better internet. We employ a local team that answers the phone when you call. We provide same-day support and symmetrical upload and download. We offer benefits like free install, free router, and no introductory pricing. We offer internet that works when you need it. No data caps, no fine print, and absolutely no hidden fees. Sign up with MCG today and experience the benefits of better internet service.
Is this leisure?
All right, welcome back,
Rosie,
to girls swimming at the Grinnell Auditorium.
Event 10, please report to the blocks. Timers, please report to your lane.
Thank you for joining us on the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. They have now cleared the pool, so getting ready for three more events.
Three more events. So we're going into the 100 backstroke. And just to update people, the score is now Grinnell 269.
Event 10, Varsity Girls 100-yard backstroke. Heat 1 of 2, Mr. Starter.
Two teams with fewer points in that. So Grinnell leading now. We expect some impressive showing from Boone in this next event in backstroke. But Kylie, Zylstra, and Rosie will do their best to earn as many Grinnell points as they can.
In lane 4 from Grinnell, Rosie Leisure. In lane 5 from Williamsburg, Michaela Paragagova. And in lane 6 from Williamsburg, Misha Brintiero.
Must have had to do a little reseeding for this event. It's not matching the heat sheet exactly, but that's all right. So again, in backstroke, we want to, especially for people who are learning to do the stroke the best they can, really want to see plenty of rotation. Make sure your hands aren't skimming the surface. That also gives you, like I was saying earlier about rotation and freestyle, really gives you an opportunity for you to use your core to do the stroke, to use your lats and not just your shoulders and triceps.
It is amazing too how the flipped position, swimming face up on backstroke, you're kicking down into the water, and that works your hamstrings so much harder than it does when you're face down.
Dan, you were asking earlier, about body position and things like that, and as Joe was just kind of hinting at, in backstroke, because in order to get propulsion from your feet, you do actually have to allow your feet to go deeper in the water, and so they do drag for a small portion of the kick, more than what we would have them do in freestyle or butterfly. Now heat 2.
Event 10, Varsity Girls 100-yard backstroke. Heat 2 of 2, Mr. Starter.
So we're going to see an event here where we expect Vinton Schellsberg to really shine in lane 5. But I expect that Kylie Zylstra will give her a run as well.
In In lane 2 from Williamsburg, Kayla Reckhammer.
We saw a great start from lane 5, even in spite of her not using the backstroke wedge. But we can see how strong Kylie is, and that despite, she didn't come up, break out ahead, but with just a few strokes, she is leading very strong. Almost a full body length ahead with just not even 50 yards.
And she's pulling away as she goes into her 50. Halfway through it.
That was a great turn.
She has her timing down cold.
Lane 5 is coming back a little bit, though. Work on those underwaters. Further you can get out past the flags before you break out.
So is the arm paddle all the way basically right up to their hip? I mean, they're pushing water all the way to the point till they come out of the water?
Yep. What you might not be able to see is they don't use straight arms. So it's straight arm over the water. Once you get in the water, you need to bend your elbow and get as much of your forearm and your palm facing back towards your feet as possible, and then pull that until you get about halfway through your stroke, at which point you're rotating your body and you're rotating your hand to kind of like push down and backwards towards your feet, and then at that point your hand's ready to exit the water.
Event 11, Varsity Girls 100.
That was a great swim by Kylie Zolstra with a 109, finishing 2 seconds ahead of her competitor there, and I believe a season best.
Right on, it looks like.
Right at, okay. And now we're into the last individual event, the 100 breaststroke.
In lane 5 from Vinton
And breaststroke is such an interesting and technique-focused stroke. It is so easy to do it relaxed and slowly and recover, and is frequently used for that by other swimmers. But if you put your effort into it, it is exhausting. There's so much drag that you have to overcome as your knees pull forward and your arms are trying to pull against that and drive you forward with the kick, and then at that time your arms are moving forward to push against you as well. So the timing on this stroke is critical with each element, and you have to repeat that a dozen times every length.
And it gets to the point. If you can get more efficient, that's the fewer times you have to do that inefficient stroke.
Exactly.
And so if you can get down to 9, 8, 6 strokes per length, you're taking half as many strokes.
And so you can put more energy into each one of those 6 strokes.
Is it literally, it looks like, is their legs flared and then they kick and push out? Or
So
is it just the way we're looking at it, it looks like their legs are flared out?
Yeah, so as you learn to do this stroke, generally you will hear, the saying of up, out, together, up, out, together. And people do tend to bring their feet up to their butt, then put them out in a flared position and then squeeze them together more or less straight. And that's kind of what children often learn. However, what we'll see in this next heat is really what's going to happen for many of our fastest breaststrokers is their feet are going to come up to their butt, and then they're going to turn their feet out sideways, but they're not going to spread their feet apart or their legs apart very far, and they're going to whip them around in more of a circular fashion as they reach out and extend at the same time. And that allows you to be very streamlined while you're swimming breaststroke, but also still get a lot of power from that whip.
Event 11, Varsity Girls 100-yard breaststroke.
It requires a different kind of ankle flexibility than the other strokes that see your feet flip at the ankle. These on breaststroke, your feet are twisting around at the ankle.
And strangely, hip inversion. So you're not actually turning your hips outward, you're turning them inward.
Yeah.
We have a very special swimmer leading the race already.
From Grinnell, Andy Lindbergh. In lane 6.
Ruby Zimpson Camp.
Harper, Houston. In lane 7.
Out strong.
And speaking of ankle flexibility, she broke her foot earlier this year during spring break last school year, and she's still recovering, but making a lot of progress, and we'll see the second half of the season she'll be coming on even stronger.
Yeah, that speaks great for what she's doing right now. I think I might be seeing a couple glances to see where the other swimmers are, though.
Yes.
So in a recovery process, does the swimming actually help? I mean, having the movement in the water opposed to walking?
A lot of doctors do think that kind of movement does help speed the healing process and maintain that range of motion, so you don't have to overcome that later.
But you got to be reasonable about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What she's doing right now is not what she should have been doing as a recovery.
No, not right away.
I guess in comparison of walking or someone running or playing basketball.
Yeah.
That extended weight here, it's more the flexibility. It's the water resistance that you're putting against it.
Exactly. And
yes, and we see first and third from Grinnell with Annie Lindbergh getting a personal or a season best anyways.
Yeah.
I believe that's a personal
by
best.
about a second.
And Ruby Zimpson Camp as well dropped about a second on her best swim for the year. So both of them should be leaving the pool happy.
And now we're coming to the last event, the
And
400
final
free
event of the
relay.
evening, Event 12, girls 400-yard freestyle relay. Heat 1 of 2, Mr. Starter.
There will only be exhibition relays in this first heat. Williamsburg in 4 and 5 and Boone in 6. Lane 5's trying to get their wedge situated so that everything will work out. For people who don't have a lot of experience moving those around, it can be difficult sometimes. Even when you do have experience, sometimes it can be
a little tricky. It's kind of like using a door and you see it says pull and you push on it. It gets all of us sometimes.
Yep, it gets a little twisted or crooked, and then it gets difficult to get out of there.
Yeah, it's amazingly a little tolerance in there, so it doesn't move around when it is set properly. But that means it also doesn't move around real well when you are trying to move it to the position you want.
Oh boy, that's the lights that are on a timer.
While the lights come back on.
We've got a little mood lighting this
Didn't
evening.
change too much on the camera actually, but there we go, they're back. So in this next heat,
4 from Williamsburg, Seaman, Bowden, Conrad, and Ratnakaran. In lane 5 from Williamsburg, Grindiero, Daly, Keller, and Reckhammer. And in lane 6 from Boone, Bruck, Ellsbury, and Owen.
in this next heat, we will have Grinnell's A, which is ranked 26th in the state right now. And then Boone's A, which is ranked 30th, not far behind Grinnell, but right now a full 5 seconds between 26th and 30th. And then Williamsburg ranked 40th. So again, we expect to see Grinnell put on a good show there and be dominant in this race. But the first relay of the meet, we saw Boone surprise us. So we'll see what they have in the last race of the meet.
That's one of the most fun things as a high school swimming coach is to play with that lineup and find ways you can surprise your opponent with who you're putting into what events and what relays, and how you can combine the swimmers for maximum effect while the opposing side is doing the same thing. You never really know what they're going to swim and where they're going to put their strongest swimmers. And typically in Iowa swimming, one team doesn't have a monopoly on the best swimmers for every event. So some of their best swimmers are good at many events, and you can put them anywhere and they'll do okay. Yeah. So it's always fun to see how it plays out.
That's why I often emphasize, when in like the dry land training that we might be doing, like really making great athletes.
Yes. Swimmers often get a bad rap for being not very athletic on land, but they do typically feel at home in the water. But it is good to see that many of these athletes are coming along, and a lot of pro athletes we see in the big leagues and professional sports sometimes start with swimming and move on. Chris Humphreys is one. Tim Duncan was another one in basketball.
Yeah.
That did very well in swimming as younger kids.
And I on that note, Joe, I think it's always a couple things that are important to remind everybody of. Some of our best athletes in the world are multi-sport athletes.
Absolutely.
And two, some of our greatest Olympians, even in the sport of swimming, despite what everybody is often worried about that I didn't start early enough, have started in their teams in the sport.
That's true.
The one that I try to model on this webcast sometimes, Rowdy Gaines.
Yeah.
I think he was 16, 17 years old
when he found swimming.
When he really actually started to swim competitively.
Wow.
He knew how to swim, but
yeah.
But it was, I think he might have been on the team when he was 15 or something, meaning the high school team when he was 15 or something, but it wasn't until he was 16 where he really started being competitive.
It is remarkable to see as I did so much age group swimming to see kids really just going along with the flow, and they're coming to practice because their parents make them or because they got signed up, and eventually at one point they go, hey, I can work hard at this and I'll do better. And if something clicks, and it's different for every kid, but at some point a light goes on and they start understanding what they have to do in practice as well as in a meet, and it's just so gratifying to see.
So in that case, Joe, I guess I've coached a lot of sports of youth. Is it kind of go back to the same, if they don't seem like they're there, but they don't really have the heart that's pouring into it, is it still the focus of do it right, teach them the right, how they need to swim, how their arms need to go, how their feet need to kick, and as long as they're doing that, the time when it does come to click, then it's all just going to be, they have all their form down, it's just going forward.
Yes, exactly, and I always try to emphasize that technique and that form so that they're not working against themselves. If they can get to that point, get through those kind of doldrum years of just going along as a kid, not really thinking about it, and but on the way, understanding and getting those proper techniques ingrained, then when they do start understanding it, man, they take off and they start having so much fun with it.
When I was a sophomore in high school, my coach was embarrassed of my fly technique. Like I couldn't do it. I didn't understand how my body was supposed to move. And the next year, it was a little bit better, and I was scoring points at state. It's just what Joe said. You just keep trying, and eventually it will come. I think it might have been a rhythm thing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Butterfly and breaststroke definitely have a rhythm to it, and coincidentally, my sophomore year was when I had a breakthrough moment in the same way. I had broken my arm, and so I couldn't practice, but my brothers and sisters were all at practice, so I had to go. And I had nothing else to do but watch. I didn't have a phone at the time. So I watched, and I was like, I felt the light go on. That's what I do.
None of us three had that distraction when we were in high school.
No.
And then Joe went on to become an incredible butterfly.
2 of 2, Mr. Starter.
All right, here we go.
This is the big event.
Drive off those blocks, out and down.
In lane 2 from Boone, Ashlyn Burkhart, Malin Griffiths, and Theolog Brady Brown. In lane 3, from
You brought up
Grinnell,
earlier about
Piper.
state qualifier. So all these times of all these meets leading up to state, do they put them in a position of how they're actually going to swim when they go to the state qualifier?
So there, you can qualify based on time during the season.
Okay.
There are very few that have at this point relative to the whole state. So like many of our divers qualified, or a few of them. They're, again, swimmers from other schools in other swimming events have qualified. The opportunity for Grinnell will come at the end of the season to where they can qualify by how they place at the last meets of the season.
Okay. So basically the WALMAC is going to be a WALMAC conference meet will be one of them that they could.
I think the regional meet after the conference meet.
Regional after the conference.
All right, Grinnell is leading well.
As we're finishing the first 100, things have spread out quite a bit. Grinnell is a little more than a body length ahead, and then Boone, and then Boone's B team is about a body length behind their A team. And then Grinnell's B team is on the outside up there in lane 3. Actually had a great turn and seems to be pulling ahead into the third place. So we could see things change here and there as we go through this event.
Yeah, we got 2 more swimmers, and I think you're right. Things could change. But right now, it's looking like Grinnell will come out on top in this meet. Get those toes over the front of the block when you push off.
Yeah.
Point those toes as you enter the water.
That was a powerful start there from Boone's B relay third swimmer.
Kylie in the water right now.
Okay, so the girls coming off the block. I know some of them got a staggered leg, and some of them step up and go 2-leg at side by side. Which one's more powerful?
Which one's more powerful? Thanks for giving us an easy question.
Yeah.
The one that you put 2 feet off the front, that's the most powerful one. Now, which one's better?
That is a preference.
So is there a grade of difficulty that when you have the 2 feet side by side versus the staggered?
Well, so what it is arguably, if you're starting with 2 feet back and then you're trying to step 2 feet on the front of the block with toes over and driving off there, that is more difficult than starting with 1 foot over the front and bringing your second foot to the front to drive off. Well, you're going to see in lane 7 right here. Oh, okay. I thought she was going to take like multiple steps. But it's when people are taking multiple steps. So if they're standing behind the wedge and they're stepping over the wedge, then to the front of the block, in a sense like almost a running start, that is extremely difficult to time correctly. So people who have great timing, that might work well for them. But you have to have great timing and great body and spatial awareness to get your toes on the front of the block to drive off the front of the block. If you're pushing off the top of the block, you're not able to press against that grippy tape, essentially, that's on the top of the block as hard as you can if you grab your toes over the front and drive off the front of the block.
Okay, so here's the last stupid question of the night. The initial person that takes off, 2 hands and then the feet. Is there a rule, or there must be a rule, that from there on out that's the only person who can have 2 hands and feet on? Or can everyone else, if they wanted to, put their hands down and...
They certainly could. The only rule as far as the timing goes is that the starting swimmer has to be in contact with the block when the finishing swimmer touches the wall. So they can grab the block and get into the normal traditional stance of an individual start, but then they don't have that momentum going through that start.
So sometimes that step or that hop actually gives you more momentum than push.
Yeah, it is kind of like a running start. And to follow up on what Tim was saying, that You have to have an impeccable sense of timing, and you have to have body awareness. You also have to have a partner coming into the blocks or into the wall that's really consistent, and you can predict how they're going to finish, so that you can time it properly.
I told you, Joe. I asked some stupid questions.
Those are great questions.
Yeah, those are. I mean,
But
plenty of swimmers need to hear those questions.
hopefully for all of our listeners at home, they're thinking the same thing, and I'm just helping them out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Grinnell dropped a second off their season best there, and the final scores are supposedly coming in 1 minute. I'm predicting that Grinnell wins.
In fourth place with a
Here they
score
come.
of 80, Vinton Shellsburg. In third place with a score of 178, Williamsburg. In second place with a score of 332, Boone. And in first place with a score of 357, your home, Grinnell Baxter Brooklyn swim team.
Grinnell winning by 25 points. And I say I predict that Grinnell's going to win. We should be able to keep track if we could do that kind of math in our head.
Yeah.
Joe probably can't.
Oh, no. I have a calculator in my pocket, so.
Well, thank you very much, Joe Simpson and Tim Hammond. I'm Dan Walker for joining us on this evening of swimming at the Grinnell Natatorium. And we come back, I think it's October. You know the schedule on top of your head, Joe?
October 7 is one here next week.
The next one coming back.
I believe that's our next home meet.
That is correct, October 7th. So join us again in 1 week, and we'll try to give you the same entertainment that we did tonight. And I'll try to think of some more questions to ask Joe and keep him entertained for the evening. But
I am excited and honored to do the commentary next week, and I'm glad I got to cut my teeth this evening. And what a pleasure to be here with you two gentlemen.
Yeah, well, thanks for bringing swimming to the web.
It's been fun, and actually the viewership keeps growing every week. We get a few more. So again, thank you for joining us. I'm Dan Walker, Tim Hammond, Joe Simpson, and you've been watching Grinnell Girls Swimming on the Tiger Sports live stream network.
This live stream is a copyright of the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network. Reproduction or distribution of this live stream without permission of the Tiger Sports Live Stream Network is a violation of the law.